Hello, this is Benjamin Price and reporting for Kids First. And today I'm here with Matthew Bakal, co-founder and chairman of Atom Tickets. So, how are you doing today, sir?
Hi, Benjamin. Nice to meet you. I'm doing great. Movie theaters are starting to open back up, and it looks like most theaters in the country are going to be open for July 4th weekend. So that's definitely some light at the end of this pandemic tunnel here.
That's a big movie weekend too.
It is traditionally. Certainly,
Yeah,
there's a bit of chicken or egg between movie theaters being open and then also there being great content to attract consumers. So I think it's still going to be relatively slow because it's mostly some older movies that are playing. But some of the big new releases are coming out at the end of July, which is exciting. When you look at Tenet from Chris Nolan or Mulan, some of the big releases start coming pretty soon.
where did the idea for Atom Tickets come about?
So I was an executive at Lionsgate Entertainment, doing corporate development and business strategy for them. And one thing that we noticed at Lionsgate was that there wasn't the most easy way to get your friends and family together and to go to the movies with your friends in a really easy, simple, convenient method. And so for us, as we started thinking about it, I started actually, playing on my phone with some other friends, and you've probably done this where you're texting a group or using Snapchat or something, and you start saying, "Hey, let's go out Friday night. Great, let's go to a movie. Okay, what movie do you want to go to? What time? What place? Who's buying the tickets? You got to pay me back. Okay, I'll buy the popcorn. It might even out, maybe not. But it's more confusing than it should be. And how do you make it super easy and collaborative and social as movie going is? Again, I think this time in history is kind of refocusing all of us on streaming's great and has its place. But we've all been at home streaming for a long time, and we're all pretty eager to get out of our homes and see our friends in real life and see our family members and share an experience. And movie going is one of the best out-of-home experiences, still one of the most frequent around the world, but definitely in the United States for sure. So just started thinking about that opportunity. If we could make it a little bit easier for you to go with your friends and family to a movie, would you go one more time a year, right? As opposed to a restaurant or whatever else you might think about doing out of your home. And on the business side, started thinking about, the great services like Amazon or Uber saying, being able to predict a little bit for you to say, well, you like these movies, maybe you'll like those movies. And could we make smart recommendations to you and say, there's another Marvel movie coming out. There's another Star Wars movie coming out. There's another Wonder Woman coming out. You went to the last one. Maybe you're not aware that it's coming out next weekend. Could we book your seats for you? Same ones you had before. And we thought if we could do all of that, plus, pre-ordering your concessions. So, ordering just like you would do it Starbucks or do it McDonald's these days, let me order on my phone and then I pick up my popcorn and my Coca-Cola. It's waiting for me. I don't need to, stand in line. I don't need to pull out a credit card. I can just kind of move through the lobby really simply and fast and contactless, which again, in this sort of post COVID world becomes even more important. So we were thinking about all of that stuff, not the COVID part of it, of course, in 2014, and just said, if we could make a better product, make it a little bit easier, let's put it out there in the world and make sure that young folks, like yourself and a little bit older, have an easy way to go to the movies and feel really like they have a product for them, like a product for the new generation, not standing in line like I was used to growing up.
I know you briefly mentioned Snapchat. I know you guys launched something recently with them. Can you talk a little bit about how that's been going so far?
The truth is, beyond just sort of snapping things back and forth, we're making plans. We're making plans to go out. And so we've been talking with them for a while about people are already on Snapchat. They're already using it in the US or North America. I think it's like 90 million people every single day go to Snapchat to exchange messages. And so we said, well, gosh, wouldn't it be really convenient and super simple if we could have people make their movie plans, watch the trailers, pick their seats, buy their tickets right inside of Snapchat. And they've been really awesome partners. We started this journey almost a year ago, building sort of a new version of Atom it's called the Movie Tickets by Adam Mini, and it lives inside of Snapchat. And we built it, exclusively for them. And it's basically a different way to use it, but instead of saying, hey, everybody has to come to Adam, although we're happy still if you come to Adam. We have an iOS app, we have an Android app, we have a website, and we're passionate about those as well. But we don't have 90 million people coming to Adam every single day yet. And so since you're on Snapchat, if you want to use Adam there, perfect. Do it right there. It pops up really simply. You can share it to your stories. You can share it with your friends right inside of the Snapchat environment. And we hope it's a new place to make all your plans. One of the really cool things about Snapchat specifically, compared to other social networks, is about 55% of movie tickets in the US are bought by people who have Snapchat registered accounts. So I don't know if it's a place, Benjamin, where you and your friends are talking, although I think you're in a Snapchat generation and demo. And so, it's by far the most popular service for those aged, 13 to 35. And those are the folks who buy most of the tickets in this country. So it's just a natural sort of native place for those transactions to be happening.
I could definitely see some of my friends utilizing that movie ticket facet of the app. So how did you decide on the name Adam? Where did that come from?
So it's a good question. So to be honest, it is when you're looking to get a name of a company, when you're looking to trademark something, it's hard to find names that don't have prior claims. So we came up with a list of all sorts of names that we liked, and it was my partner Amish and Jeff and I, and our whole early team at Adam, and we came up with our list, in Excel, and we said, okay, here's everyone put names into the hat, and we started looking for certain attributes. And one of the attributes was we wanted to start with an A, because it was simple. It would rise to the top of lists. We wanted it to be a word that didn't necessarily confine us just to movies, although movies is our passion and really where we think the largest opportunity for ticketing in the market is today. But we said there might be a time when we want to expand beyond that, so it should be Adam Tickets, not necessarily only movies. We also wanted it to be a word that was usable in multiple languages. So an atom is a scientific word, and it's what you call sort of an empty vessel. If you think about Uber, if you think about Snap. They're words that have a meaning, but really could mean whatever you kind of put on them. And so when you have that elemental model, we always thought of that as our way to get your friends, get your movies, get your showtimes, get your seats, spin it all together, and you've got your Adam. So that was sort of our dream experience.
Since co-founding the company in 2014, what kind of changes have you seen in terms of the types of movies getting made and how people consume them?
Well, so great question. Streaming, I would say, is obviously a huge trend. I would say not just in our society, but in civilization worldwide. And at the time, there was, I'd say, nascent streaming, but now between Snapchat, Discover, Netflix, Quibi, Stars, HBO Max had just launched, Disney Plus.
You could fill a whole interview just naming all the streaming services.
Peacock from NBC Universal is about to launch, next month. So there's so many. And so I think that's changed how people watch things at home, certainly, and the type of fare people are willing to watch. By the way, not just on their TVs, but on their phones. We're talking on phones today, and it's amazing that you couldn't really do that in 2014. So things have changed to some extent, but I think what's also really interesting are the things that haven't changed. And we were talking, I was talking a few minutes ago about the Russo brothers and Avengers and what a tremendous success that's been. Big movies, the big sort of zeitgeist grabbing IP still happen in movie theaters. Whether it's Marvel, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Pixar, to name a bunch of amazing Disney brands, but whether it's DC, whether it's Hunger Games. But also, movies that unexpectedly sneak up on being huge hits. I think that you look at Crazy Rich Asians, You just find movies out there that become worldwide sensations, and those start generally in movie theaters. And so I think that the thing we're learning from this kind of worldwide deprivation study of the pandemic here is that we've all been stuck at home. We're all streaming into our homes. We're all enjoying some time, if we can, in a healthy, safe way with our families, on couches in front of phones or TVs or computer screens. But what we really miss, and this is something that just hasn't changed from 2014 or frankly from 2004 or 1994, is we like to get together with our friends. We like to go to a movie theater. We like to enjoy some popcorn. We like to talk about the movie afterwards, in real life, over a cup of coffee, over a soda, and just spend some time together. And so I think that that's something that is kind of evergreen. And so that makes me hopeful again as the world starts to open up, and about people, young and old, everybody likes the movies. So it's pretty fundamental, human experience.
You guys have expanded to over 20,000 screens in 6 years. What is the key to rapid expansion in today's theatrical markets?
So, another really good question. And look, I'm a fan of a few things. I mean, one, just hard work. It's been hard, right? What most people don't understand is that you have huge, amazing partners like AMC and Cinemark, who are not only U.S. wide but also worldwide, and turn on a lot of different screens and venues for you. But then in every single city, every single state, a lot of small towns in the United States, there are individual theater operators, and they've been operating for 20, 50, 100 years in some cases. And so for us, it's been a lot of work getting on the road, being smart, being hardworking, a little bit of luck. There's no doubt about that, coming along at the right place and the right time to meet the right folks. But also to be, for us, authentic, just like you are. We're movie lovers. We love going to the movies. We go to people and say, we want to make it easier for consumers to go to the movies. We want to make it easier for you to interact with younger, tech-savvy folks who, today aren't coming into your theater because they're doing something else. How do we make sure that they know about the great experience here and the great movies that are coming, to their corner next week, next month, next year? And so I think they hear that. They know that we're real people, and that we just want to make sure everyone can have sort of the best movie experience that I grew up with, and I have such fond memories going, with my family, that I want to bring that back for my family and my kids and everything over the next few years.
And lastly, which of the most recently delayed movies, I'm curious, are you most excited to see?
Okay, so now I'm betraying my age a little bit, but look, I'm a sort of non-denominational movie consumer. So I will say that in various moments with different people in my life, I'm really excited to see Soul by Pixar. I'm really excited to see Wonder Woman 1984, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 3, which was a favorite of mine in high school. Probably see it with some of my high school buddies. I'm excited to see James Bond, which I still love to this day, and seen everyone, I think, with my dad. And of course, when you look at Black Widow or Top Gun 2, I mean, in a way, because we've all been stuck at home and movies haven't been able to come out, there's sort of an embarrassment of riches when you look at the back half of this year and how many movies are crammed into Q4. So I'm pretty excited. I think almost every weekend between September and next January has an awesome movie in it.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to talk to me. You can find Adam tickets wherever apps are downloaded. This is Benjamin Price signing off. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.